Here's a little review video for our upcoming quiz. I'm just going to go through one question in each section from the review sheet. Now I'll do question 6 for the composition of functions. These are all aligned to specific lessons. This file is available on my website. If you have any issue getting there, mrjcostello.com, click Algebra 2 files, and you'll find it. Now, so for number 6, what we're doing is we're putting negative 7i into the g function for x, and then whatever comes out, we're going to put into the h function for x. That's how it works. So it goes into the function twice. So it's going to go into the g function, and this O symbol just means composition. So the g, 3x plus 2i. So I'm going to take this from right here, and I'm going to get 3x plus 2i. But remember, of course, that I'm replacing x with 7i. Now let's evaluate that to figure out what g of whatever is, negative 7i. So this is going to be negative 21i plus 2i, and that's negative 19i. Now that is going to go into the next function, h. So let's see. The h function is x squared. So when I rewrite it, it's going to be x squared, because I'm getting rid of the x, right? It's going to be replaced. It's going to be replaced with what? Negative 19i. Negative 19i squared. I might want to take that to a calculator. Your calculator can do that for you. Let's see. Negative 19i squared. Negative 361. Done and done. So that's the idea of compositions. There's a video on that. Draw a unit circle for an angle in all 4 quadrants and label sine, cos, and theta. And then I also wanted you to label tangent, so we can wrap that up with whatever we learned in lesson 47 to 48. So let's do quadrant 3 together. If I have an angle in quadrant 3, here's what the unit circle looks like. Unit circle. Here's quadrant 1, 2, and 3 is down here. So when I draw an angle in quadrant 3, it creates a line up from the intersection with the unit circle. That creates a right triangle. This in here is theta. This is cosine of theta. And this right here is sine of theta. And the hypotenuse is 1. Now if I want to add tangent to this diagram, I need to add a line here on the right side of the diagram. And I need to extend this line back in the opposite direction. And then this right here is tangent of theta, from here to here. That length is tangent. Okay. Draw a diagram for each equivalent angle, state the reference angle and the exact values of sine and cosine. I'll do 24, 1560. So draw the diagram, reference angle, sine and cosine. Got it. So 1560 is too big, so let's fix it first. I'm going to subtract 360 until it's fixed. Still too big. Still too big. Still too big. 120. Okay. This is equal to a 120 degree angle. That's great. Here's my diagram. Quadrant 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 0, 90, 180, 270, and 0 and 360 are the same line. Don't forget my circle. 120 degrees is going to be here because it's between 90 and 180. Drop my line down. This is a 120 degree angle. This angle here, the reference angle, is going to be between 180 and 120, so it's 60 degrees because 180 minus 120 equals 60. There's a 90 degree angle, so this one must be 30. Across from a 30 degree angle is a 1/2. across from a 60, oh wow, that eraser's way too big. Across from a 60 is radical 3 over 2. Now let's see, this is left is a negative base, and this is a positive because it's up. Left is negative x, positive y, and negative y. So it's negative, positive. Okay. And this right here is cos, and this is sine, just like we saw in our last diagram. So let's make sure we state everything we were asked to state. The original angle is 1560, so all our answers should be with respect to that. The reference angle is 60 degrees. That's the one close to the origin. Cosine of 1560 degrees is equal to negative 1/2. Sine of 1560 degrees is equal to positive radical 3 over 2. And that's everything that we were asked for. Now I'm going to add here, just so I don't have to do it in the next section, what tangent is, because it's the only thing added in the next section. Tangent of 1560 is sine over cosine. Sine is radical 3 over 2. We just found that. So sine over cosine, which is negative 1/2. We need to keep, change, and flip so we can simplify this. So I keep the radical 3 over 2, change it to multiplication, and flip the denominator. So I get 2 over negative 1. Now what happens? 2's cross out. Radical 3 over negative 1 is the same as just saying negative radical 3. And that's what tangent is. Okay, so you should be cool with that. I just did that basically in the last question, so this section's done. Use SOHCAHTOA to find the value of sine, cos, and tan. Okay, so we'll do question 6 together. Whenever they tell us that it passes through the point, right, negative 7, 9. What they're saying is that we have this triangle here. Here's theta. This is the base, and this is the height. So the base is negative 7, and the height is 9. I need to use a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That means negative 7 squared plus 9 squared equals c squared. I'm going to do this in the calculator. I can do it by hand, sure, 49 and 81, but I'm going to do it in the calculator just for any of you calculator folk. Negative 7 squared plus 9 squared, that's 130. So I get 130 is equal to c squared, and I square root both sides to get rid of the square. So c is equal to the square root of 130. So that's what this side length here is. Now from theta, this is opposite. This is the hypotenuse because it's the longest side and it's across from the right angle. And this right here is the adjacent. So SOHCAHTOA, which you have to have memorized, SOHCAHTOA. Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. Sine is op over hype, which is 9 over radical 130. Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse, that's negative 7 over square root of 130. And tangent TOA, tangent is opposite over adjacent, which is 9 over negative 7. And that's sine, cos, and tan using SOHCAHTOA. Last section, converge angle measure. We'll just do 2 of these, let's say 31 and 33. We want to multiply by, keep the pi on the bottom, so these will cross out, and that means 180 degrees goes on top. And I'll just do this in the calculator now. Negative 25 times 180 over 12. Negative 25 times 180 over 12. Negative 375 degrees. Let's do one in the opposite direction. It's not a fraction, so we put it over 1 first. We want to be able to cross out the degrees symbol, so I put 180 degrees on bottom and the pi on top. Here's why. Top and bottom, these can cross out. 150 pi over 180. I'll rewrite it first. You can simplify them algebraically, like with your head or with small moves, right? Like these are both divisible by 10 and they're both divisible by 3. Or you could just do this, 150 over 180. Let's see. 150 over 180. Math, enter, 5/6. So we can either write this as 5 over 6 and put the pi on the top, or you can write it as 5 over 6 and just put the pi off on the side. Either one of those is fine. Okay? Good luck on that quiz.